Listen, I got a digital brick thrown through my fucking window last night, okay? And in it was an email attachment. And in that email attachment, it says YouTube wants you to fix your bad acting.
Acting?
Yes, you've been acting like an idiot. But don't worry. They have granted me permission to start my own master acting class channel. And you're my first student.
I don't even want to be here, man.
Listen, we're gonna do an exercise. Get up. Get up. Move the table. Move the table. Get up. Get up. Get up! Alright, Chris, you want to be a good actor, you gotta be in good physical shape. I mean peak physical shape. I'm talking Gary Busey and Point Break in shape. You know what I'm saying? And in order to do that, you gotta do some exercise, right? Just follow me. Just fucking just do it, okay?
I'll do it.
There we go. Okay, come in. Yeah, come in a little closer. There we go.
Yo, what does this have to do with acting?
Acting. Welcome to room 666. Today we're going to be reviewing The Disaster Artist, the newest film from James Franco. The film stars James Franco, Dave Franco, Seth Franco, Zach Franco, Allison Franco, and we all can't forget the lovable Papa Franco. Let's get into it, baby. Disaster Artist. You're tearing me apart, Franco! The Disaster Artist tells the true story of struggling actors Greg Sestero and Tommy Wiseau, who both decide to make their own film, and they end up making this film called The Room, which is one of the worst movies of all time. And this basically shows all the craziness that went on behind the scenes and how insane Tommy Wiseau is. That's The Room, baby. Disaster Artist. Let's get into the disaster artist himself, Mr. James Franco, who directed this film, and he also stars in it as Tommy Wiseau. So we get to knock two things out in one little quick. As a director, he does a great job, better than he's done before. Now, I have not really been a fan of his directing efforts up to this point. They've all been kind of these really kind of cinema verite, sort of aimless art pictures, and these really just sort of aimless adaptations of stories that never really truly find the heart of what that story is. But this is not the case here. I feel like he really did kind of capture the kind of weird craziness that was going on behind the set, and in terms of playing Tommy Wiseau, I was a little skeptical about that. I thought maybe it could come off as like something in a sketch, or just like, I don't know, just be really just not good, because Tommy Wiseau is just a very strange and weird guy as it is. But James Franco gives him a ton of heart and makes him an actual human being. It makes you sympathize with this guy who, honestly, I don't know, seems kind of like a weirdo that you wouldn't really want to sympathize with. In the film, he does kind of come off as an asshole at times, but there is a pretty cool like ending that kind of shows him kind of with lifted spirits and that everything's going to be okay and stuff like that. And I really like the film because it's funny. In terms of the direction of what he does, it's just perfect for it. It's just, it's there. It's not anything flashy. It's just doing the job, and it's letting the performances and the story, do its thing. As far as his performance goes, I think James Franco deserves an Oscar for this, because what he was able to do with it is amazing. And when you watch it, you'll understand, because it's so weird to watch him play this character, and you're never like, oh, that's just James Franco in a wig making some funny accent. No, you're just like, oh yeah, that's Tommy Wiseau. And so that's one of the best things of the film, is his performance. I was able to see this at a screen at AFI Fest, and James Franco mentioned how he wasn't a fan of The Room. He saw it and he was like, whatever, it's a bad movie. But he was more of a fan of the book, The Disaster Artist, and so that really comes through, that he's more of a fan of the story of the struggling actors, that whole aspect of just trying to make a movie on your own, and that's super cool, and good job, Franco. All right, let's get into little baby Franco. Dave Franco, he plays Greg, who is the actor who forms a kind of weird relationship with Tommy Wiseau and ends up being the lead actor in the movie The Room. And, Dave Franco's a fine actor. I don't think he's bad by any means, but, what this is, let me show you Dave Franco acting in a movie. So, what? I'm sorry, what? Oh, that's, what? Oh, is that, what's, what? That's pretty much Dave Franco. That's, and look, like I said, it's not terrible, but, he does fine for the part. He's extremely overshadowed by his brother, of course, but he's fine. Just, he just does a lot of, All right, minus the Franco brothers, there's just a ton of people in this cast. You got Alison Brie, Seth Rogen, Sharon Stone, Jason Montezukis, Paul Scheer, like all these great and funny comedic actors, Bob Odenkirk, and they're all kind of just playing little small bit parts, so there's nothing really for them to do, and then they all do fine. Don't get me wrong, but they're all just there for cameo's sake. It's really Franco and Dave Franco's show, and but they're all there and they do fine, and people in the audience clap and cheer for some reason when they see people that they know in a movie like that. I don't know why. I don't know why people choose to do those stupid things, but hey, The Disaster Artist was very funny. In conclusion, The Disaster Artist is a really funny film. It's got a lot of heart as well, and I would definitely recommend it to everyone, actually, because it's a funny James Franco, Seth Rogen type of comedy. Not exactly as the same thing as maybe like Pineapple Express or something like that, but it still kind of has their sensibilities a little bit. And you don't need to have seen The Room in order to enjoy this film, which I think is one of the best things about it. It's just a nice, cool comedy to check out kind of the crazy behind-the-scenes stuff of what happens, when you're filming, trying to make a movie, and you don't really know what you're doing. Like we know what we're doing here.
Hello, I'm Michael Caine, and I'm from London.